And welcome to the Burger and Badass Show. We are back like we are every Wednesday night. Talk a little bit of sports and bullshit with you guys a little bit.
What's going on with the people out there? How we doing?
Looks like we're having another late edition of the Burger and Badass Show.
Yeah, it's looking like another midnight oil burner. It is.
You know, but sometimes we do our best shows at midnight.
It definitely gets delirious. I know that. The exhaustion, it sets in, and then fun shit starts it's like verbal diarrhea. It just starts falling from the mouth.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and just jump into this show because, I mean, I'm off tomorrow. I know you got to work.
I got a long day.
You got a long day tomorrow. I'm really not trying to be here till 2 o'clock in the morning doing a show. So let's go ahead and jump right into what we want to talk about this week. And the first thing that we want to talk about is this past Sunday was the 30th annual WWE Royal Rumble. And it was one of them action-packed events that it was really good. Like, I have to say, this is probably one of the better events I've watched for WWE.
You really think it was one of the better events?
It was, and I love the Royal Rumble.
Well, go ahead and recap the event.
All right. So, the Royal Rumble was this past Sunday, and we had a lot of matches. In the pre-show, we had SmackDown's Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, Naomi defeating Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, who was an old 90s wrestler. I know you remember Mickie James.
I do.
And Natalya, who is Bret Hart's niece.
I do. I remember both of them.
In the other one, we had Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson defeating Cesaro and Sheamus to become the new tag team champions. And this is only a match that I feel like they could have put this on the main card and maybe put one of the other ones on the pre-show.
Yeah, because those are some. I mean, Sheamus is a big name. Cesaro, I mean, no one cares about that douche, but I mean, I could see Sheamus. He actually draws a crowd.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a WWE tag team title match,
which should not be in a prelim.
Which should not be in a pre-show at all.
No.
That'd be like putting the Intercontinental Championship in a pre-show.
Right, like nobody watched. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Nobody fucking turns on UFC prelims to see a fucking championship fight because it just ain't there.
You're not gonna see Brock Lesnar fighting or Tito Ortiz fighting in a pre-show.
Well, to be fair enough, you ain't gonna see Brock Lesnar fighting there again anyway, because last time he was in the fucking octagon, I do believe a certain Mexican with brown pride tattooed on him somewhere. I can't remember his name. What was that guy? Yeah, you know, that Mexican dude that just beat the living fuck out of him and left him bloodied in the fucking ring.
I think his name is like Santos.
No, not Dos Santos. I'm talking about the other one. I'm talking about the hateful one, the one with the pissed off look in his eye.
Okay, and I knew you're talking about.
Oh God, what's his fucking name? I can't even remember his name now.
Man,
see, this is why we don't do shows at midnight.
Yeah, see, because we forget shit. We're forgetful.
It's okay though.
Anyway, he got his ass whooped. That's all that matters.
Yeah, bloodied real bad.
And then in the last prelim match, we had Nia Jax, who is actually the daughter of the late, great Jimmy Superfly Snuka, defeating Sasha Banks.
See, I don't really know a whole lot about the new up-and-coming talent for the women's division, but I do know that you told me that a couple of the old-school big-name wrestlers do have daughters wrestling, like Superfly and Ric Flair, and apparently they are holding their own rather well. Apparently they've assumed the mantle.
Oh, yeah. Definitely the second generation and third generation are definitely taking over WWE. Then we get into the big event, the main event. We had, from Raw, Charlotte Flair, the daughter of the great
Ric Flair.
Woo! Ric Flair.
The Nature Boy.
The Nature Boy. Retaining her Raw Women's Championship over Bayley. I know you don't know who Bayley is. She's one of those new up-and-coming wrestlers from NXT. But she's like the people's champ. She's kind of like a John Cena. She does it for the people.
So she's a crowd favorite.
Yeah. And of course, Charlotte is one of those, I'm the best. I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I'm the best in the world. I'm the best Flair. She actually said she's better than her dad.
You really think she's better?
Oh, hell no. Nobody's greater than the great Ric Flair. And I'll tell you right now, I like you. You're my boy. But Tracy, I don't want you to say anything ill about Ric Flair, or me you're going to be having a fight.
Actually, you won't. He won't say nothing horrible about Ric Flair. Everyone loves Ric Flair. Oh, and by the way, because our brains aren't working tonight, the Mexican in which we were referring to with the brown pride tattoo in the UFC, his name is Cain Velasquez.
Ah, Cain Velasquez.
Sorry about that, bro. I mean, I should remember your name being as you beat the fuck out of Brock Lesnar. Like, I mean, you bloodied his ass really good. But sorry for fucking botching your name there, bro, because I am a big fan of the UFC fights, and, well, that one's on me. So, from the Burger and Badass Show, we owe you one, Kane.
Yeah. And not only did Charlotte retain her title, but she is now undefeated in title matches at pay-per-views right now. She is like 12-0 in title matches at pay-per-views.
Shoot, that's actually pretty damn impressive. That's a new streak for the WWE.
It is a streak. In the other match, we had Raw's Kevin Owens retaining his WWE Universal title over Roman Reigns in a no disqualification match, and Chris Jericho, his buddy, was in a cage above the ring. Now, this was a hell of a match. I mean, these guys beat the living shit out of each other through tables, through chairs. I mean, just absolutely whooped the shit out of each other. And then the Wyatt family's big Braun Strowman came out and just destroyed Roman Reigns, threw him back in the ring, put him through a table, and then pretty much Kevin Owens just pinned him, which is kind of bullshit to me. I mean, I just hate when WWE does this. They have these big matches, and they, like, one of the best matches, and everything's going great, and then somebody interferes, and you're just like, really? You just ruined the whole match. And it just, to me, it just ruins when you have run-ins like that, especially after having a hard-fought match, and then you turn around and have somebody interfere, and it causes them to lose the match.
Yeah, I tell you what, too, is annoying about it is that people pay good money to watch these pay-per-views. I mean, it used to be good money. Now it's you just get the WWE Network. But I remember back in the day when these pay-per-views were $30 a pop, man. You know, you paid because you wanted to see the stars have a good match. And you're right. Back when I was younger and I watched wrestling quite a bit, there was nothing more annoying than somebody coming in, causing a DQ, match is over, a beatdown ensues, and then you're all like, God damn it, you're pissed off because that's not what you wanted to say. But then again, the WWE's not really in the business of giving a shit about what you want to say. They want to put the asses in the seats. And whatever's going to put the asses in the seats is what's going to happen.
Now, our next match is one of the matches that I think could have went on the pre-show, and the tag team titles could have went to the main show. It was Neville defeating Rick Swann to become the new Cruiserweight Champion. I mean, it's a Cruiserweight Championship, guys. It's not a big title. It's not like the prestige like the tag team titles. I think this match could have went on the prelim and then put the tag team titles on the main show. Maybe it had like even that one starting off. We're having the women's title, then the tag team title, and then Owens, Universal title match, and then the last match before the Rumble. And that would have been a good card. But they put this one on there. And I do understand why they did it, because they're trying to promote the Cruiserweight division. They brought it back, and they're really trying to promote it and push it. So, I mean, I do understand why they did it. But in the same sense, where it was put into the show, I really don't agree with it. Because, I mean, it's not as big as the Universal title match. It's not as big as the women's title match. It's not as big as the tag team title match. And they put this one on 2 before the Rumble.
That's usually reserved for the better spot, the actual crowd drawing numbers. Like, nobody shows up to see Jack Swagger or Dolph Ziggler, who looks like fucking riffraff, but nobody shows up to see those guys. I mean, you might have like 1 or 2 people who are like diehards, but when you go to see a pay-per-view, who do you want to see? You want to see John Cena. You want to see The Rock. You want to see Stone Cold. You want to see Triple H. You want to see the big-time names, the Undertaker. You don't want to see a bunch of bullshit. I don't. If I'm paying good money for a ticket, the last thing I want to see is some fucking half-ass, no-name wrestler or somebody who's not as popular. Listen, I went to a WCW show back in the Wycomico Civic Center when Goldberg was on his streak. We went to see Goldberg. We went to see Sting. We went to see Diamond Dallas Page. You know who we didn't go to see? Fucking Raven. You guys remember that fucking idiot loser? Yeah, Raven. Nobody gives a fuck about Raven. We wanted to see Sting, DDP, Goldberg. The names. The reason our asses were in those seats to begin with.
I actually remember going to that show. I went to that show too.
We were both at that show. I mean, it's crazy too because we got some years that separate us. But I mean, we're both older now. But I mean, I was a child, man. I was in like 5th grade. I remember I took a bunch of my friends. My granddad told me he'd get a bunch of tickets for me and my friends to go watch it. But the stipulation was couldn't miss school, for a whole month before it. And I actually went and stood in the line with him balls early in the morning, cold as fuck, to get those tickets. And then went to school tired as shit and told all my friends that I had 4 extra tickets to take 4 of my friends with me. Believe me, I was the most popular motherfucker in the world that day.
I bet you were.
Oh, I was.
And this is actually before me and you even knew each other.
Exactly. This is back when me and your cousin, who we shall not name on the show because, well, we just won't say his name because we don't know how he'd feel about it. But a certain cousin of yours and I, we were still fucking, little children. We were in Boy Scouts. We didn't even know what, pussy and drugs and all that cool shit. We didn't know what none of that was yet.
So getting into the last match before the Rumble, we had a huge thing happen. John Cena won his record 16th WWE Championship, defeating AJ Styles. He is now tied with the great Ric Flair.
Yeah, I'm about to say, apparently that's a prestigious thing in WWE Universe. I know a lot of people out there are going to give us grief for covering wrestling and sports entertainment, and they're like, why are y'all talking about fucking wrestling? Who gives a fuck if somebody won the belt for the 16th time? Listen, if that's not your thing, that's cool, but some people like that shit. And the fact is this, I don't give a fuck if it's a hot dog eating competition. If you win something 16 times, apparently you're good at it.
Maybe like if Kobayashi won the hot dog eating contest
on Coney Island
5 times in a row, we'd report on it because it's monumental.
Right. Listen, as much as we don't like it, if somebody were to be winning nonstop in chess, we'd let you know about it. You think we watch women's college basketball? Fuck no, but we're going to tell you about Gino Auriemma being the best fucking coach ever and how they're going to, just stroking off 100 fucking wins like it ain't nothing. We're going to report on it. Whether or not any of you seem to agree with its validity, you can take a number for the complaint department. It's right over there on 123 Go Fuck Yourself Avenue. And I don't give a fuckville. So, go check it out.
Oh, I love it. So then we get into the big event. What everybody really comes to watch against the Royal Rumble. All the other matches, yeah, they're great and everything.
But it ain't the Rumble.
But it's not the Rumble. So we had the Royal Rumble, 30 guys in, throw a guy over the top rope, both feet hit the ground. Yes, both feet. The Shawn Michaels rule.
Yeah. Hey, 30 go in, 29 got to come out. One's got to be left.
Exactly. So we had a lot of big names in there. Jericho, Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, Undertaker, Roman Reigns. We had a who's who list of everybody. And before I get into it, I just want to say real quick, congratulations to my buddy, James Ellsworth, for making it into his first Royal Rumble. He was number 11. And, of course, he didn't last long, but he still made it into the Rumble.
Exactly, which is more than a lot of people from fucking Delaware can say. How many people you know from Delaware can say they were in the Royal Rumble?
One. That's it.
Shout out to our boy James over there. I don't even know you, but if you're a friend of Burger, obviously homeboy, you're my homeboy. So shout out to you, man. Because let me tell you something, you've got one up on everybody in Delaware that we know.
So real quick, just going through it, Braun Strowman had the most eliminations with 7. He came in and just started tossing people. He's a big dude from the Wyatt family. He's just huge. But it got down to the final 7.
Oh, is he the one that does the backward crab walk weird shit?
No, that's Bray Wyatt. He's the leader.
I like that guy. That guy's fuck nuts.
Yeah, he's cool. He's actually the big heavyset guy.
Talk about follow the fucking buzzards. What the fuck does that even mean?
Who knows what it means? But we got down to our final 7. We had Sami Zayn, Chris Jericho, The Miz, Bray Wyatt, Goldberg was in there, Undertaker, Roman Reigns. But it got down to the final two, and it was Roman Reigns against Randy Orton. And Randy Orton somehow came out with a victory, and now we'll go on to WrestleMania, where he's probably going to face John Cena. It depends, because there's an event coming up in 2 weeks called the Elimination Chamber, and you know all about that. That's a crazy, crazy event. They sit these guys in a octagon cage, put them in little pods,
Which
have them come out.
Locked into.
Have them come out every 5 minutes. One person come out every 5 minutes. Two start, come out every 5 minutes. Eventually get 1-on-1, 3-way, 4-way. Eventually becomes a 5-way.
It's fucking bedlam after a while.
And I mean that. Trust me, there's nothing soft in there. There's no pads on the outside to fall on. It's metal grating. It's hardcore caging. I mean, people are busted open. I've seen people busted bad open, like bad. Like I remember one year John Cena got messed up bad. Like his whole face was just crimson red, and it was nasty.
It looked like hamburger meat.
But yeah, the Royal Rumble was this past Sunday. I enjoyed it. It's now the official road to WrestleMania, so I'm excited. WrestleMania is only like 62 days away.
Not only that, you also know you got WrestleMania coming up soon. You got WWE Hall of Fame. I mean, they make a great big production out of WrestleMania.
You gonna watch WrestleMania with me this year?
I actually might watch some WrestleMania. It's been a while since I sat down and actually watched the WrestleMania. It all depends on the card too, because you know me. I gotta, something's gotta wet my beak, man. I gotta get interested, and I hate to tell you, but John Cena and Randy Orton ain't fucking interesting to me.
But it's like old school match, Randy Orton and John Cena, because they've faced each other so many times. I mean, both of them have a storied career. They're gonna both be Hall of Famers eventually when they eventually retire. But, I mean, these guys, you know, they've been around for a long time, so I like the story in this match. I like that. Also, I heard Goldberg versus Lesnar Part 4, because Goldberg actually came in and eliminated Brock Lesnar. Not only did he beat him twice, but he eliminated him in the Rumble. So he's 3-0 against Brock Lesnar.
You know what I want to see then? Doesn't matter if it's Lesnar and Goldberg or if it's Orton and Cena, then I think they need to take two old school matches from the WWE that were actually around for the WWF days. They need to combine them and they need to have it.
I like that idea.
Do you know what they are, though? Can you guess what my idea is?
No, because
leather strap match, I Quit match. You bind them at the leather strap at each hand so they can't run away from each other. You stick them. In fact, here, I'll take it even one step fucking further. You put them hell in the cell, leather strap match, and make it a fucking I Quit match. Where you can't run, you can't go nowhere, there is no escape, and one of you's got to fucking say I quit.
How about even a last man standing match?
Honestly, I'd like the I Quit match, especially when it comes to Lesnar and Goldberg. I'd like to see an I Quit match. I want to see, you know, because that's the thing. I love a good old fashioned I Quit, dude. Because they just, you beat the fuck out of the other dude until you literally can't take it no more and quits. Like, that's, you know, I love those matches. Or, you know, like to me, I wish they'd bring back some of the other old school matches, like, you know, how they used to have Iron Man matches or submission matches only. Like, I'd love to see some of those come back. Like, I'm just, you know, I'm tired of the gimmicky shit sometimes. Like, you know, table, ladders, and chairs is great. Don't get me wrong. That shit's awesome. But every once in a while, I want to see a good old-fashioned Iron Man, I Quit, you know, best of 3 falls, submissions only, leather strap match. You know, I'd like to see that old shit.
See, the problem with the last man standing match between Lesnar and Goldberg is the fact that Goldberg is really not a great wrestler.
No.
He's not a great wrestler. If you watched his WCW matches and even in WWE matches, his matches don't last long because he can't go a real long time.
No.
I remember his first ever match against Hugh Morris in the WCW, and that match was fucking horrendous. I mean, horrible. I mean, just missed bumps and missed clotheslines and all kinds of missed little key things in there. And it was a terrible match. And Hugh Morris, who's a veteran, had to pretty much drag Goldberg on his back to the whole match and carry him. But That's one of the things with Goldberg. He just can't go a long time. So I want to get away from wrestling a little bit and move on to some NFL news. And I'm happy. In the NFL, the San Francisco 49ers have now signed former player and Hall of Famer John Lynch as the new GM.
It's about time they did something, worth doing, because I was actually getting ready to ask the 49ers franchise this question. Not even really a question. It's actually a statement. I'm just going to straight up put it to you like this.
You have smoked yourself retarded.
I know y'all love weed out there in California, but seriously, up until this moment, I thought that the Niners franchise had smoked themselves fucking retarded, because you hired Chip Kelly. That was no good. You keep calling Crapperdick on the sideline for whatever reason. Not good. You just keep making stupid fucking decisions. Not good. And then finally, the light bulb went off. Good job.
Now, Lynch was actually signed to a unprecedented 6-year deal. A lot of people, you don't see the GMs get a 6-year deal. Usually it's like a maybe 2, maybe 3-year deal. They signed him to a 6-year deal.
Well, it's probably because they've realized that they have to do something long term. They have to give the man time to implement the system, get the people in there necessary to turn around. Because you got Kyle Shanahan coming.
Well, actually, I was going to talk about that next.
Big fucking upgrade. Big fucking upgrade. So I'm starting to think maybe, just maybe, San Francisco's starting to figure it out. You know how, like, when they hired Harbaugh, they started figuring it out. They started going to NFC championships, went to a Super Bowl, could have won it. You know what I mean? Like, they were turning it around. They had the recipe for success. They'd done a lot of good drafting. I mean, there was a shitload of Pro Bowlers on those O&D lines. And I think that San Francisco was right there at the cusp. But the problem is that you had, and I don't care what anybody wants to say about this. I'm not trying to be a dick and harp on them. This is just facts. Had you had a half-decent quarterback and not Colin Kaepernick for all that run, for all those great runs you had under Harbaugh, you would have championships to show for it. I mean, for fuck's sake, if you had Andy Dalton or fucking, Carson Palmer or Joe Flacco, any of these fucking guys, I mean, any of these dudes could have probably won you a Super Bowl. I mean, Jesus Christ. Ray Charles' dead fucking ass could be dug up out of the fucking earth. Throw the football at him. That motherfucker could probably win you. I mean, just, you had everything going for you, and you had faith in a quarterback who, for all intents and purposes, really ain't that fucking good. I mean, he was really good in college. I mean, he led that fucking humongous comeback win over Boise State when he was at Nevada that he's famous for. But, like, what the fuck's he done since? I mean, really, he got you there. He didn't get it done. And then the wheels fell off the bus. You couldn't keep fucking Harbaugh. You get Chip Kelly, which is... I just can't understand why the fuck you ever did that.
I mean, that's a downgrade. Going
Right.
from Harbaugh to Chip Kelly, that's a downgrade. I mean, look, he proved exactly why it was a downgrade. He went to Philadelphia. He fucked up Philadelphia.
Bad.
Came to San Francisco, talking about turning over a new leaf and changing everything, and he fucked San Francisco up.
Chip Kelly's not a Sunday guy. In fact, I don't even think Chip Kelly is a Saturday guy. I think Chip Kelly is one of those guys, when he walks in the room, he has to make it known to you that he's the smartest guy in the room. He's one of those dicks. And if you ever notice that those dicks usually don't ever accomplish anything. I mean, they talk a lot, but when it's time to get things done, not really a whole lot of shit getting done at all.
Now, we did touch a little bit. You were talking about Kyle Shanahan coming over. Of course, the 49ers can't sign Shanahan yet because he's still officially with the Falcons and they're playing for the Super Bowl that's coming up Sunday.
Correct.
So they can't sign him officially, but it's rumored that he's going to get a 6-year deal too.
I think that if the 49ers are smart, they're not going to do this knee-jerk reaction shit. They're going to give these guys time. They're going to go through the growing pains, let them implement the system. And if you just happen to stay the fuck out of their way and let them do things the way they should be done, you might get rewarded with a Super Bowl. Imagine that.
Now, something else that I actually came across the NFL Wire today was several NFL executives feel that the 49ers, now that they're bringing in, they have Lynch in there, they're going to bring in Shanahan, feel that Clemson Deshaun Watson will be their second pick in the upcoming NFL draft. And you know me, I've been saying it since day one, since last year when he played.
You've been wanting to see Deshaun in that red and gold.
I do want to see Deshaun in that red and gold. And I think he's one of those up-and-coming quarterbacks that he's going to need a few years to get the system down, but he's going to be really good when he does. And I mean, that might even mean bringing in somebody like Kirk Cousins, who I really don't want to bring in, or a Garoppolo, the backup to Tom Brady, in to kind of ease him into that transition between college and NFL.
See, this is where I'm exactly opposite from you. I say you don't get another quarterback. I say you draft him, you baptize him by fire.
Pretty much Mariota, crab legs.
I say that Deshaun Watson, if he's as good as advertised, which he should be, if he's, he should be able to do it. I don't see why not. I mean, he doesn't seem to shy away from any challenge.
I know, I'm really excited. When I saw that, 6 to midnight, no lie, I'm like, man, could the 49ers really draft Deshaun Watson? Because I know at one point, when I was looking at the pre-drafts and everybody talking about where everybody is going, a lot of people were saying North Carolina's quarterback was going to go to San Francisco on the second pick. And I'm just thinking to myself,
Mitch Trubisky?
Yeah, why the fuck would you...
Biscuit.
The Biscuit. Why the fuck would you pick Trubisky and not take Deshaun Watson? I mean, that's almost as stupid as Lamar Jackson winning the Heisman over Deshaun Watson.
Hey, they want to take the Triscuit cracker, they can have that cracker. You know what? You don't want him anyway. You want Deshaun.
Oh, I know I want Deshaun.
I don't know how many times Deshaun has literally got to fucking just shit in people's mouths until they understand his greatness. I mean, like you said, they give the Heisman to that fucking goddamn no talent having asshole. And yes, I said no talent having asshole because once there was film on him, you saw what happened, didn't you? No more fucking talent. It was gone. So, all I got to say is, y'all have been fucking wrong all goddamn career about the entire fucking career. You have been wrong about Deshaun. You talked shit. You couldn't do this, couldn't do that. Blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? I don't know what else. What does he got to do? Does he need to grow like 10 extra feet? I mean, does he have to fucking come back and be like, hey, I was just kidding. I'm really Black Jesus. I've been in disguise this whole time. I mean, what the fuck do you want him to do? I remember I asked this last time. What do you want him to do?
I mean, let me just put this in perspective. In 2 seasons, he's made 2 championship appearances, won a championship, and he's only lost 2 games in the last 2 years. 2 games in the last 2 years. I mean, why would you not go after him? I mean, you have to be full-on retarded, and I'm sorry for you little snowflakes. See, now you got me doing it now. I'm calling people snowflakes.
Yeah.
But you sorry little snowflakes are getting mad because I said the R word, retarded. But you have to be the stupidest person in the world not to pick up Deshaun Watson as a quarterback at the second pick. Because Cleveland's going to go after a defensive guy. Now, there were talks about Deshaun going to Cleveland, and Deshaun pretty much said, no, do not send me to Cleveland. I will not play in Cleveland. Which I don't blame him.
I don't fucking blame him. I wouldn't play in Cleveland either. I'd outright refuse. Just tell him, fuck it.
Trade me.
Trade me. Exactly. I'll go. Fuck it. I'll go to a different team. I'll take less money. I'm not fucking. Listen, Cleveland is the black fucking hole of NFL careers. That's where you go to not have a career.
I mean, look how many quarterbacks they've gone through in the last 8 years.
They haven't had a decent quarterback since Bernie fucking Kosar.
Wow, did you say Bernie fucking Kosar?
I did. Getting old, huh?
It is getting old.
Yeah. That's how. Note to Cleveland fans, go to your basketball games. Give up on your football team. Just a little tidbit. Hey, you can even go to a baseball game. Fuck your football team.
LeBron's going to win you championships.
Hell, the Indians might even fucking shock you and get you one, but you don't fucking hold your breath for the Browns.
They were close this year.
They almost did, right?
They almost did it.
Hey, the fucking city that went without a championship As long as my fucking old great granddad's been fucking alive, you almost got 2 in 1 year. So you guys are on the up. Just, don't get ahead of yourselves in football. Until you literally clean out the entire organization and literally like just fire half and the other half need to just die or go into retirement, you're just nothing's going to happen good for you. Your problem is your front office thinking that they're smarter than everybody else when it's perennial. They fucking prove year in, year out, without any shadow of a doubt, that they fucking don't know what the fuck they're doing. In fact, I'm willing to argue that Berger and I could walk into the NFL draft on draft day and we could draft better for them, and we aren't fucking professionals. We are not talent search. We don't fucking grade NFL talent for a living. Something tells me that Berger and I can take our 2 eyeballs and be like, well, that fucker's slow. Hey, that fucker's out of shape. He can't catch a ball. Who the fuck's he talking to? There ain't nobody there. He's crazy. We'd fucking be able to at least do that.
This guy ran over somebody while DUI and almost killed him.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have that on our team.
I think, honestly, badass, and this is the truth, I think me and you would be both dead and gone. Come back in a new life, and Cleveland's still going to suck.
Yeah.
In football.
Listen, my daughter is going to have grandchildren before the fucking Browns even sniff the playoffs. My daughter's 7 months old, people. Just so you know. She'll have grandchildren before the Browns stop sucking.
So, also, what happened this week, we had the the Pro Bowl happen this week. And I mean, who cares? I mean, we're at the point, who cares about the Pro Bowl? It's a glorified flag football matchup. You had Odell Beckham out there dancing on field, doing dabs and doing all kinds of stupid shit right while everybody's huddled up. He's over there close to the sidelines, dancing around, acting a fool. I mean, it's a fucking circus.
Earth to the NFL. Get rid of the fucking Pro Bowl. No one watches that shit. The players don't give a fuck. All they're there to do is have fun in the sun. I mean, really, why the hell do you even bother wasting my time, advertisers' time, TV time, hell, everyone's time? Hell, the goddamn grass growing on the field. You're wasting its time. The Pro Bowl don't mean shit. No one cares about it. It's garbage. Get rid of it. Keeping it around only serves to show that you guys are a bunch of elitist pricks because you assholes get to go have fun in the sun while everybody here that works for a fucking living that's sick and tired of watching your shit product to begin with is why your ratings are down. Maybe we don't want to see you guys all having a great fucking fun time when it's miserable, shitty cold and we're still waiting to get our taxes back. So fuck all of you assholes. That's why no one watches it. No one gives a shit. It's not a real game. It has no bearing. And guess what? The best players usually aren't playing in it because they're playing in the fucking Super Bowl. Just a little tidbit for you.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't care. I don't know if you guys really care or not, but the AFC did win 20-13. I mean, again, glorified flag football match.
Berger, I'm so glad you told me that because my life would have been incomplete. I'd had to have counseling.
Counseling?
Yes, my life wouldn't have been complete had I not known the final score. I would have needed a safe space.
Oh.
And antidepressants, and a coloring book, and a puppy.
Poor little snowflake.
And I don't want to pay for my tuition. I'm special.
So let's get away from the Pro Bowl and let's talk about real football. This coming up Sunday is the main event. New England Patriots versus Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl. And I'm excited about seeing this matchup. I mean, again, we talked about it a little bit last week in the show. We went over a lot of stuff. I'm really excited about seeing this. It's finally here. We're going to see who's better. Is Tom Brady going to be the GOAT of all time? Ugh. See, I even hate saying that. Even possibly being the GOAT of all time.
Right.
And then when if he wins it, and I actually have to say he's the GOAT of all time, I'm really going to hate it. Especially when I got to talk to our buddy Adam in Delaware. He called me up this week. GOAT, 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 GOAT. Best of all time, GOAT, GOAT, GOAT. Belichick is the man. better than Walsh. I mean,
Just nonstop.
it was nonstop, and I was praying for the phone call to be over quickly. It's like when you get teeth pulled, you just hope it happens quickly and it's over with, and you can go home, take your pain pills, and just relax and be over it.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
No.
And you know what's funny too is that Roger Goodell is just like praying to God that Brady doesn't. He's probably already called in some favors to make sure Atlanta wins, because to me, this is what I feel like is going through his head the day after Tom Brady wins the 5th Super Bowl and becomes the GOAT. I believe this is what's going on in Goodell's head.
My job consists of basically masking my contempt for the assholes in charge, and at least once a day retiring to the men's room so I can jerk off while I fantasize about a life that doesn't so closely resemble hell.
Yep, that's pretty much Goodell's thoughts, because he's going to throw the fuck up in his mouth if he has to hand over that trophy to his nemesis, his model-having, millionaire-having ass, Trump-voting, fucking perfect motherfucking Tom Brady. I mean, seriously, it's really fucking easy to hate the goddamn guy, but it's also really easy to love him, too, at the same time. Because he is everything you want to be, and he's everything you're not. Fuck, it's good to hate him. It really is.
It's kind of like Duke in basketball.
Yeah.
Alabama in college football.
Yeah.
There's teams that you love to hate. Kind of like Christian Laettner.
Yeah.
You love to hate Christian Laettner.
Some people just make it too easy.
But, as much as I don't want to see New England win the championship, I think it will be hilarious to have to watch Goodell have to hand Belichick and Brady that championship. Another one. I mean, the look on his faces could be fucking priceless.
Knowing that he actually might have to do it yet again next year, too. That's what I'm saying. He's sick to his stomach. He can't fucking take it. He just can't take it.
Do you think Brady will come back next year if he wins it?
Fuck yeah, he will. He ain't going nowhere.
How many more years do you think Brady's going to play?
2 or 3.
Think so?
Yeah. Look at him. He don't look like he's aged a fucking day in his life, hardly. I mean, dude, he's pretty healthy.
That's actually funny because I listened to WCCP this week, and old Fat Lip Tula was talking about how Tom Brady looks like he did when he got drafted.
He does.
13 years ago.
He's like Carson fucking Daly. He doesn't age. You remember watching Total Request Live on MTV?
Oh, yeah.
You remember watching the fucking New Year's show? The man hasn't aged from this year. The man hasn't fucking aged.
He's now on The Voice. He's the lead guy on The Voice that does like the introductions and stuff, kind of like Nick Cannon does for America's Got Talent.
17 fucking years later, goddamn dude has not aged 1 second.
He still looks like he's in his early 30s.
He's a fucking lizard person. He has to be.
He's an alien.
Right, because I'm sorry, the expression is black don't crack. It's supposed to be black people that don't age like that. They're like, God damn, he ain't aged in a fucking... Carson Daly does it too.
Tom Brady.
Exactly. They're all fucking lizards.
But getting into a little bit of the stats of how they did this year, Tom Brady, of course, we know, didn't play the first 4 games of the season, but he still managed to throw for 3,554 yards and 28 touchdowns. LeGarrette Blount had over 1,000 yards rushing with 18 touchdowns, and Julius Edmond had over 1,000 yards receiving with 3 touchdowns. And Martellus Bennett had 7 touchdowns and 701 yards. I mean, they just find a way to win. I don't know how they do it. Like we said last week, they just find some way to win. And it's like frustrating because you're like, oh, there's no way you're gonna beat this team. And they go out and beat them. And you're like, how the fuck did Belichick and Brady manage to do that? I mean, it blows my mind. It really does, badass. It blows my fucking mind how this motherfucker somehow wins championships and wins games that he really has no business winning. And you're just like, how the hell did he do it? Especially like this year, they had a lot of injuries this year. And somehow they still ended up having a really, really great season. And it just blows my mind that they keep winning. I don't know how they do it.
And it seems like there's no stopping the winning train neither, because like you said, Doesn't matter what. I mean, Bill Belichick could fucking have turds in uniform. They literally fucking fecal matter in uniform. Doesn't matter. He's going to make them winners. His system works. He knows how to coach. He knows what the other team's going to do before they do it. And mainly that's because they cheat in film practices. I mean, you can just go ask Kurt Warner and the Rams that. But, I mean, if they're not busy cheating, they're just busy whipping someone's ass. And for all you New England apologizers out there, you fucking Tom Brady dick suckers, stop. There are some cheaters. I mean, there's only so many times somebody can call you something before, it starts to stick. Like, if someone says you're a crackhead, you laugh. But if everybody in the town says that's one crackhead motherfucker, apparently you're a crackhead, or not everyone will be saying it. There's only so many times you can be accused of cheating before everyone's like, you're a bunch of fucking cheaters. That's all you are.
And I mean, let's really look at it in perspective. One of them was Spygate. They won the championship. One was Deflategate. They won a championship. And one, they won because the kicker kicked the field goal at the last second.
Yep. Vinatieri, the old foot.
So, I mean, 3 out of the 4 championships they've won. And I think the 4th one there was even questionable. I can't remember what it was because there's so many gates and so much bullshit going on with New England that you kind of forget exactly what they're called. I mean, I remember Spygate and I remember Deflategate and I remember Vinatieri kicking that field goal to win it in the Super Bowl that one year. But there was
the one is the forward progress. The
rule. Yeah, the Tuck rule. So yeah, the Tuck rule, Spygate, Deflategate, and the kicker winning it. So really, Tom Brady really didn't win the championship. He cheated on 3 of the 4 and had to rely on his kicker on the other one.
Well, it's like they've been talking about for years now, is that Belichick, in one aspect, is better than all coaches for one thing. He knows the rule book year in, year out, inside and out. And New England's one of those teams where they're always looking for a little loophole for an extra advantage to have that much of a leg up on someone. And they do it frequently. Think about it. Belichick will exploit any rule. That's why they deflated footballs. Everyone's like, oh, they didn't deflate the football. Then why the hell else were the Colts bitching about it? Because, believe me, they've taken ass whippings before. But you're not going to take an ass whipping very well if you know for a fact that you took that ass whipping because of some nefarious shit going on. It's like a boxing match, all right? I don't think that a boxer minds getting his ass kicked by the better man, but what he does mind is somebody putting pepper on their gloves so he can't fucking see and his eyes well all up and he sits there getting hit like a punching bag because you're cheating. It's just that whole notion of New England always seems to be at the forefront of some bullshit when it comes to bending the rules and or cheating, which ergo leads you to believe they're fucking cheaters. You can only be called something so many times. Like, listen, you know how many people affectionately call me an asshole? Guess what? I'm an asshole. It's not because they're just saying, hey, it's a sunshiny day. No, I'm an asshole. You own it. I get called dickhead all the time. I'm a dickhead. I own it. You open up my fucking yearbook from high school. You know what every single goddamn sentence starts off with? Zach, you are one crazy motherfucker. Or Zach, you crazy son of a bitch. Zach, something's not right with you. You're fucking crazy. So, hey, you are what you are. Own it.
I go by the old saying of, if it looks like a cheater and acts like a cheater, guess what? Odds are it's probably a cheater.
Correct.
So let's go ahead real quick and talk a little bit about Atlanta. You had Matt Ryan, who threw for 4,944 yards and 38 touchdowns. You had Devontae Freeman rushing for almost 1,100 yards with 11 touchdowns. And Julio Jones had 1,400 yards receiving with 6 touchdowns. Those guys are definitely going to be keys on beating New England this week.
See, that's the only reason I'm thinking Atlanta's going to do it. I mean, everyone keeps saying Atlanta's never been in this kind of pressure spotlight. I get that. I know New England's the heavy favorite. They've been there before. It's business as usual. But like in the Alabama-Clemson game, I think that the offense is just a little bit too much because Belichick is going to be forced in having to take away their best weapon. Well, when you can't readily identify what their best weapon is other than Julio Jones, they've got other guys that can get open too. You can't cover them all. It was just like what I tell you about Bama, they couldn't cover everyone all the time. Sooner or later, it was the floodgate was going to open and the dam was going to break, and it did at the end of the game. You started watching Bama going soft on defense, playing off the receiver, and even when they had them locked down, the ball was getting to them, and they were making catches, and there's just nothing you can do.
So I think we're both in agreement that we both want Atlanta to win because we hate New England. We want to see them lose. Now, like I said, guys, I am undefeated in the playoffs on my picks. And because my dad's an Atlanta fan, he's picking Atlanta, I have to go with New England. But
That's the one you're going to get wrong.
that's the one I'm going to get wrong this year. And I'm okay with that because I'd love to see Atlanta come in and shock the world and beat New England because I'm just tired of New England. And you can say, oh, well, Brady is still the greatest of all time, even if he loses because he made it to 9 Super Bowls. No. He is not the greatest of all time because it's taken him 9 times to get to the Super Bowl to win 4. It only took Montana 4 times to win 4 Super Bowls. It only took Bradshaw 4 times to win 4 Super Bowls. And Brady's played longer than Montana and Bradshaw.
That's the thing there. The counter argument is they didn't go to 9 Super Bowls either, 8 Super Bowls, whatever it is. I mean, I have people basically telling me that the reason he's the GOAT is because not only has he won the same amount, but he's also lost the same amount. It's like, because he's had that many cracks at it. I mean, I see both sides of the argument. I do.
My question is real quick before we move on. My question is, he loses the Super Bowl. Can you still call him the greatest of all time?
I think so. Simply because of the amount that he's made it to 8 Super Bowls. I mean, who the hell else has done that that's a quarterback? No one. I mean, he's in rarefied air, man. And it's only going to get even rarer if he fucking wins this Sunday. Like, he will be on the mountaintop, and it will be all his.
So let's go ahead. I know we said that we were going to kind of hold off on some college football stuff, but today was a big day.
It was a big day.
It was a lot of excitement going on around the area. I could feel it. Like I woke up this morning, and I just felt the excitement. Because you know why?
National Signing Day.
It's National Signing Day.
But to tell you the truth, though, I'm kind of saddened by the fact that, yes, there was a little bit of excitement, but it wasn't as electric as it normally is, and that's because we had all our guys sewed up. And for all the Clemson Nation out there, don't get discouraged because we didn't have a bunch of people picking up the orange hat and going, oh, and acting like a bunch of assholes wanting to fucking make other teams sweat the whole time. I don't want players on my team like that. If you got to be that dickhead that makes the team sweat it out to the very end, you got to be cutesy about how you select it. I don't want you on my fucking team. You know who I want? The guys that early enrolled, who I knew were coming a year ahead of time. They're not budging. Those are my guys, because those are guys buying into the system. I don't want some fucking prima donna, jerk-off asshole who thinks he's hot shit wanting to play that game and, oh, look at me, man. Fuck you. It's about the team, dude. You see, the quality of our recruits are insane, though, dude. I don't care what anyone says. They could say that we took a hit on our recruiting. No, sir. No, we did not. Apparently, you don't watch the talent that comes through.
And I mean, I said this a couple weeks ago. I was listening to Dabo in an interview, and he even said this year's class was going to be a light class because of that whole thing of what we talked about before. They're not rebuilding, they're just reloading.
Mm-hmm.
And they're reloaded right now. They have guys that were behind all these big guys that left this year that are going to pick up and step up in that spot. You know, they say next man in line, step up.
That's right.
And they got guys that can do that. They have guys coming back from last year that were first-year starters that are going to make a big impact this year. There's guys that might not even started a game last year, maybe played, maybe a quarter or something like that, but
The majority of our guys last year were freshmen and sophomore, and they all played. We rotate a lot in and out. And I'll go ahead and let y'all know right here and now, you're going to want to remember this name because this boy is going to break every wide receiver record at Clemson. You're going to be like, Mike who? You're not even going to remember Mike Williams. His name's T. Higgins. You remember that name. Boy's out of Tennessee. He's fucking nasty. You know who he reminds me of when you watch his film? Randy Moss. Big, tall, freak of nature who don't even look like he's running fast because his strides are so fucking long. Dude's nasty. He's a freak of nature.
I'm telling you, there was one guy that Clemson did sign. Like, he didn't officially sign, but he kind of committed before the actual national signing day. Was that guy from Louisiana, the running back?
Yes. Oh God, what was his name? He's got a
It's Etienne.
Etienne or something. Yeah, no, he's apparently like a little bowling ball. Apparently he's fat, like a wrecker.
Well, badass. I did my research, and I went on YouTube and I searched his name, highlight reels. I'm telling you right now, I truly believe he's going to be the next Walter Payton.
Really?
Dude, I remember I watched him in some of his clips. There was one play where he went all the way left one time, got stuck, went back right, got stuck, went back left, got stuck, went back right again, almost got knocked out of bounds, somehow stayed in bounds, and then ran it for 50 yards and scored a touchdown. I seen him on a sweep. He ran a sweep. Came up against a guy one-on-one, did a little shake move, and was gone. Out of there. And he's quick. He's quick. He's got
Shifty
moves.
little fucker.
Oh, he is. He's a quick little dude. And I'm telling you, watching him remind me so much of watching Walter Payton. I mean, I never watched him because Walter Payton was a little before my time, but I did watch highlights of Walter Payton. And I'm telling you, this guy is going to do big things for you guys in Clemson. I truly believe that. That was one of the big guys that I saw when they signed him. I was like, I'm going to do my research and see what this guy's truly about, see if he's really what everybody says he is. Trust me, guys. If you're a Clemson fan, he is who he says he is. He's going to come in there and he's going to do some work.
See, a lot of Clemson fans have been wanting to have the whole Thunder and Lightning thing back, because back when Tommy Bowden was the coach, the one good thing he had on our offense was Thunder and Lightning. Big old tough, bruiser that can get the hard yards as your Thunder, and then the Lightning, the guy who's going to go outside and burn people. And we had C.J. Spiller and James Davis. They ended up being okay. I think that if you get this Etienne guy and you get him the shorter little bowling ball, and then you got to have an All-American 6'3", 240 behind him in Tavian Feaster. Put some weight and height on him. That's the only key to Clemson's offense we've been missing. That's it. We've got a line. We did have a tight end. We're going to have to plug that hole now, but we've got weapons everywhere. But what we haven't had is that official running back that when he steps out on the field, everyone starts going, fuck, he's on the field. Like, we haven't had that in a while. We had that in Spiller. Like, everyone game planned around him because they knew if you don't stop him up and he gets around that edge, he's fucking gone. And he can turn on the Jets and he's gone. But see, now that we're getting ready to start having these large frame running backs coming back, and we're going to have these All-American guys, we're actually going to be able to really implement the power run, zone run, read option, because every once in a while we like to go into that form of offense. And I'm telling you, the reason why we lost the first national championship to Alabama is because Alabama had a fucking All-American running back who you could gang tackle, and the son bitch is still going to push the pile. Clemson gets that, you fucking bye-bye. We're going to win multiple titles. Because that's the one thing we're missing is a fucking All-American running back.
So, badass, what I want to do is I want to break down some stuff. First thing I want to do is talk a little bit about how each of the teams did. And as far as drafting, how many they recruited. Because it's recruit, not drafting in college football. But how each team did with recruiting. Then I want to break down some of the teams that we have. And then I also want to break down the top 20 people and where they went.
That sounds good to me. I got to give a special shout out to the University of Tennessee with your recruiting.
Oh no! We suck again!
Thank you for letting us get T. Higgins. Y'all fucking suck up there in Rocky Top.
So, looking at some of the teams and how they did, no surprise, number one, Alabama.
I'm just so sick and tired of seeing them number one recruiting class, number one recruiting class, number one recruiting. Sooner or later, these motherfuckers got to go down. Everybody wants to see Bama fall real hard now because nothing like watching a fucking top dog go down. But I think people are sick and tired that every motherfucking year they get the number one recruiting class, and it's just it's fucking sickening. You can only see it so many times before you finally say, fuck this shit. Everybody mark Alabama on your schedule. If you have to fucking sell your fucking mother into slavery, if you have to fuck somebody in the ass, whatever you have to do, we're going to beat these assholes. Fuck these assholes. I don't care if we have to fucking amputate our legs after the game. We're going to fucking beat Alabama. Fuck them. They're going down.
Sell your soul to the devil.
Yeah, like I'm like serious. Well, you can't sell your soul to the devil because they already have him as the fucking head coach.
Yeah, that is true.
Fucking Nick fucking Saban. Fucking don't even get me started on that little fucking Napoleonic short fuck. Can't stand a little fuck you, Nick. You know what? I hope I run into you one day. Just because I'd like to see you talk to me like you talk to everybody else. I'd smack the motherfucking taste out of your mouth.
So looking at how they did, they signed 6 5-star recruits, 18 4-star recruits, and 4 3-star recruits. That's pretty impressive.
No, they did well. They really did.
I mean, you can't take it away from them. As much as you hate them, kind of like New England, you can't.
They can recruit.
They can recruit.
They can.
They're good.
No arguments here. I mean, I can't. Listen, you got to give fucking dog a bone every once in a while. You got to give credit where it's due. And fucking Nick Saban, he's got the system. He can recruit. He knows what to do.
So at number 2, we have Ohio State. Mm-hmm. They had 5 5-star recruits, 14 4-star recruits, and 2 3-star recruits. Ohio State, again, another one of those teams that they don't rebuild, they reload. I mean, they made it to the playoffs this year. I mean, they're
got a shit pushed in by Clemson too. A lot of the good those 5-star recruits did for you, because I remember y'all getting your shit pushed in and y'all getting shut out. That's what I remember.
Yeah, it was no contest. But, you know, you got to give it to them again, like Alabama, you got to give it to them. They did their job, they did their homework, and they recruited some good guys.
And that's Urban Meyer's game. Don't get it twisted. Ohio State's going to forever have a top 5 recruiting class just because it's the Ohio State University. I mean, they could pretty much cherry pick out of that entire region and get who they want, when they want them. I mean, who's going to challenge them? Michigan? That's it. Harbaugh is really the only challenger in that whole fucking conference.
You mean Michigan State, maybe?
No, just Michigan, straight up. Like, who's got the star power? They got Urban Meyer. They're Ohio State. What do you got? We're Michigan. We got Harbaugh. Okay. What about all the rest of you fucking slack asses? Crickets. I'll wait.
Now, at number 3 was actually a little bit of, to me, it was a little bit of a surprise. To you, it's not going to be a surprise because you've actually said this numerous times on the show. At number 3, we had Georgia in recruiting. They had 2 5-star recruits, 18 4-star recruits, and 6 3-star recruits.
This one goes out to Walt Deptula, one of the local assholes on the radio around here. He's pretty much fucking always right, even when he's wrong. He's one of those dicks. But this one's for you talking all that shit about Georgia, because Georgia's on the way back. And this one's for you, Walt. You're not God. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about all the time. And when Georgia wins the national title in the next 5 years, I'm going to personally make sure that you are mailed a special edition of their championship magazine. And it's going to have a nice big note on it that says, "Get the fuck off the radio. You've had your time." I'm not going to lie to you. You've been on the radio a long time around here. And, you know, if I were to make a compilation of every time you said something that wasn't right, I wouldn't have enough fucking hours in the goddamn year. You know, so quit running that fucking mouth. Quit talking all that shit. That's all you do is talk shit. And not only that, you seem like one of those guys who talks a lot of shit to people who put up with it. Come talk your shit to me. See how long I put up with your bullshit.
So now looking at the rest of the top 10, going in the top 15, there's a lot of what we call who's who of teams in here. I mean, teams that belong up there. I mean, you have USC at number 4.
Correct.
They had 2 5-stars, 12 4-stars, and 10 3-stars. You have Michigan at number 5 with 2 5-stars, 19 4-stars, and 8 3-stars. Florida State at number 6, 4 5-stars, 8 4-stars, and 12 3-stars. Number 7, LSU, 1 5-star, 15 4-stars, and 8 3-stars. And number 8, Oklahoma, 0 5-stars, 18 4-stars, and 9 3-stars. I mean,
That's shocking they didn't get 1 5-star player at Oklahoma. That's kind of strange.
it is a little strange to me.
That is.
Then you have, at number 9, you have Auburn. That they actually were able to get 1 5-star. They have 10 4-stars and 12 3-stars. Number 10, you had Florida, which this is another surprise. They had 0 5-stars, 11 4-stars, and 12 3-stars.
All the 5-stars went to go play for Florida State. That easily answers that one.
Now the next one that surprises me a little bit, Texas A&M. I know we've talked a lot about them this year. They had 0 5-stars, 9 4-stars, and 18 3-stars.
Yeah, Texas A&M, they're up and coming in the SEC, but you know, I'm one of those type of people that believes Kevin Sumlin's done just about all he can do there. But I don't know. They seem to keep thinking that he's the man down there. So, hell, maybe they know something I don't.
At number 13, you have my boys at the U, Miami. They had 0 5-star, 10 4-stars, and 14 3-stars. So they did a really, really good job at recruiting this year. I'm telling you.
Being they've been in the toilet for a long time, yeah, that actually is good for them. Because they ain't been recruiting worth a damn for a while.
This is where it all turns around. Mark my words. Today's date, February 1st? February 1st, 2017. You heard it right here from Berger. This is where Miami turns it around.
Nah, I don't share your sentiments.
Not at all? Not even a little bit?
No.
No?
No.
So at number 14, you have Stanford. They had 3 5-stars, 6 4-stars, and 5 3-stars. Our favorite team, Penn State at 15. No 5-stars, 11 4-stars, and 10 3-stars. Your boys, Clemson at 16. They had 2 5-stars, 9 4-stars, and 3 3-stars.
Yeah, see, all these other sorry-ass teams couldn't even manage to get 1 5-star. We got 2. And we didn't even have that big of a class because we're not really concerned about this one. Next year's recruiting class, we're going to hurt a lot of you sons of bitches around here. You're gonna cry at the next one. Like, seriously, like, you're going to cry because even if half the people we have committed right now want to decommit, it still ain't going to matter. It's going to make you sick next year. Because the rich are going to get fucking richer, buddy. Let me tell you that.
At number 17, you had Tennessee with 1 5-star, 4 4-stars, and 23 3-stars. That's right, 23 3-star players.
Sounds like a bunch of bullshit recruiting to me. I memean, y'all got a shitload of 3-stars. I mean, you know what that translates to on the football field? 8 and 4 at best. That's what that translates to.
You had another surprise team at 18, Maryland. 0 5-stars, 9 4-stars, and 23 stars. Again, another one of those teams that maybe like 6 and 6 at best.
The last 5-star they had was probably Boomer Esiason.
Wow, you're going back. Boomer Esiason?
I don't even think he was a 5-star. He was probably a poop star because you know he's a dickhead too. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, fucking Terrapins. Just I'm glad you left the ACC. Just put it that way. We're glad you fucking arrogant fuckers are gone. We don't miss you, believe that.
And kind of running out these last couple here, we have 19, we have UCLA with 2 5-stars, 5 4-stars, and 11 3-stars. Oregon, 0 5-stars, 5 4-stars, and 19 3-stars. The Gamecocks, 0 5-stars, 6 4-stars, and 19 3-stars. Our boys at Washington at 22, 0 5-stars, 9 4-stars, and 9 3-stars, What surprises me a little bit, I mean, I know you have a lot of big teams ahead of them, but they did big things this year, and that kind of surprised me. Nobody wanted to go to Washington.
They have to prove themselves. Just because they did something like, they have to sustain that. If they start building off that and actually become a perennial power in the pack, then yeah, that could happen.
And then rounding out the top 25, we have Nebraska at 23, 0 5 stars, 5 4 stars, and 15 3 stars. Mississippi State, 0 5 stars, 4 4 stars, and 18 3 stars. And Virginia Tech, 0 5 stars, 5 4 stars, and 21 3 stars. And just an honorable mention, Texas at 26, 0 5 stars, 7 4 stars, and 11 3 stars. And I think not this year because this is the first year of the new coach with Herman being there, but
He's going to change that.
that's going to be a bit different. I say next year, Texas is going to be a top 10 recruiting.
I was about to say, I'll put money on it right now. February 1st, 2017. February 1st of 2018, $100 says Texas is in the top 10 recruiting. I put money on it right now.